Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, we're going to be talking about which version of QuickBooks you should be choosing. Now, at the time of writing of this particular video, or recording this video, should I say, we have a bit of a flux. We're in a flux where the very smallest version of QuickBooks, currently called QuickBooks Self-Employed, has actually gone through a bit of a facelift and won't be available at this time of this video to talk about. So for this video, we're not going to be talking about that self-employed section. We're going to ignore that. We're going to be looking at QuickBooks Online and looking at the 4 different SKUs available to you and figure out which one's right for your business. So my name is Aaron Patrick. Let's roll the VT. Let's get straight into it and figure out which version of QuickBooks you and your business should be on. Let's have a look. Hello, my name is Aaron Patrick. I'm a chartered accountant, a certified UK trainer with a fancy new logo, that QuickBooks chap on the internet, head of accounts here at Boffix, and also your friendly podcaster who goes live each and every Monday morning for Ask the Accountant. Now, in today's video, we're going to be talking about which version of QuickBooks is right for you. I do have a handy little tip for you before we go any further, and that is that producer Lizzie has already gone and done a great way of being able to do this yourself. So if you've ever confused about it, head over to our online store. On our online store, you'll find that there are various ways in which you can get some discounted QuickBooks licenses, if you so wish. Very popular with our clients and non-clients at that part. We've got a lot of people who are just using the ability to get a nice discount on your QuickBooks license. But if you scroll down off that page, you'll find not only is there option for bespoke services by Boffix, but also there is the QuickBooks license quiz. If you press the find out more option, it's going to go through questions for you. And when you've gone through and picked the questions that's right for you, you should be then told which QuickBooks license is right. But I thought for this video, instead of going through that quiz, let's actually go over to the QuickBooks pricing area. So here's the QuickBooks pricing area at this point in time. And you'll notice that there is a cheeky little deal on at the moment, so if you quick grab that deal as well. But we're going to be looking at the Simple Start, Essentials, Plus and Advanced, having a look what you get with each of them and quickly showing you what those bits are, so that as an expert I can go through and explain to you what they're going on about, basically, because there's nothing more annoying than being able to look at something and not actually understand what it is they're trying to say. So let's go through this. So first and foremost, if you want to submit your VAT return, then it doesn't matter which version, Simple Start, Essentials, Plus or Advanced you choose, you're going to be able to submit your VAT return on all of them. Prepare your self-assessment on all of them, get income tax estimates on all of them, VAT error check on all of them, calculate and submit CIS on all of them, and VAT deadline reminders on each and every single one of them. So from a tax point of view, it's pretty straightforward. Realistically, you just want to go for the cheapest version at this point, right? So if it's just any of them you're after, Simple Start is the one for you. Settlement support are all going to be the same as well. Talk to us online, free onboarding sessions, and get free phone support. But let's look at the everyday admin, because this is where we get to start thinking about some differences. On all of them, you can connect your bank. On all of them, you run reports. On all of them, you snap and sort receipts. Remember that feature? That's the feature which is best shown on the phone, really. And that's the feature where you can use the receipt snap functionality to take a photo of that said receipt and it'll extract the information, bring it in. You can have that on every version of QuickBooks there is. Track mileage, using again the mobile app is the best way of doing it. When you go from one position to the next, it can track it for you. You can have that there. Manage income and expenditure on all of them. Send invoices, so sending those invoices is always useful. Say they've been paid, have a look at cash flow insights and create estimates and quotes. All of that can be done on all the SKUs, but this is how we start getting some differences. So the next one is manage bills. So this is something you can't do on Simple Start, but what does manage bills mean? Well, what it is if I go to the new button on here, you'll notice that I have a bill functionality. You won't have this in Simple Start. And what a bill functionality is that it looks very similar to an expense in terms of being able to put aesthetically what everything relates to it. But the key difference is that I'm not dictating when I put the bill in how it was paid, because at this point when I'm putting the bill in, this hasn't been paid yet. So this is you putting in an item that you've actually purchased but yet to pay for. And you want to record the fact you haven't paid for it, because that's going to be really important to your cash flow. So the idea would be that I'd put an item in here and I would pay for it at a later date and I would want to mark this paid. So in my Simple Start and Above options, when I go to my expenses, I can see my bills area And I can see straight away if I've got any unpaid bills that need to be looked at. So you can see in this test file, if I go to Alliance Insurance, I've yet to pay my Alliance Insurance. And it's actually classed as overdue at the moment, which is probably a not good thing to be in with my insurance company. So it's insights like that that you get on anything over Simple Start and above. Then the next step is multi-currency. Multi-currency starts on essentials and above. And what does multi-currency get me? Well, if I go to my expenses area and I go to the setup and go to accounts and settings and go over to my advanced area, from advanced I can go and look at currency down here. And at the moment, currency has been turned on and I've set my home currency to British pound sterling. But what does that actually mean? Well, that means if I go to my customers, for example, and this works for customers and suppliers in various places within QuickBooks, but you'll see GBP is primarily on all of these. But if I was to do a new customer and I was going to change my currency at the top here from GBP to any different type of currency I want, let's just go for United States dollars for now. And then I called this one, say, let's call it USA customer. Then what it means is when I go and I create that customer and I press new transaction and I press invoice, then this invoice will automatically now be in USD. So if I put 1,000 there, it's now $1,000 that's been calculated. And it's also going to be really clever and tell me what that relates to in GBP as well. So that can make it really straightforward for myself. Multi-currency is a fantastic feature within QuickBooks Online. But if you want to enable it, you can only do that for essentials and above. What I would say though is be really careful about multi-currency. Multi-currency is one of those things you can't just turn on and off. So if you're thinking about bringing multi-currency into your business, only really do it if you do a lot of trade from another country, and especially on a trade where you're not going to be paying for it there and then. If you're paying for it there and then and you're paying to it in GBP, then actually multi-currency doesn't need to be turned on, because ultimately you're going to be told via whatever comes out your bank account how much that's cost. But if you acquire a service or you sell a service or product and then you pay for it at a later date, or you receive the money at a later date, then the difference in between is really important from a business. It's called your profit and loss on exchange rate. And that's what that multi-currency element is all about. So don't just go jumping into multi-currency for the sake of it. Think about it, have a look at it. And we have done videos on this channel about multi-currency and when it's best to apply. So have a look at that video. The next one is track stock. So when you want to track stock, well, that's all going to be about the idea. If I go into here and go to my sales area, products and services, you'll notice that I have an option to see low stock or out of stock items. And you can see here this Brown Brothers whiteboard. You'll see here that I have 5 of the quantity of hand and I have a low stock alert if it goes below 1. The idea of stock management is that I can then buy those stock items in, so that when I go to the new option and I create a bill or an expense, when I create a bill or an expense, not only do I do category details where I'm choosing a category, but I also have the item options, which means I can say that I want to bring in more of those whiteboards, and I can say what quantity of whiteboards they are. So at the moment I've got 5, I'll bring another 10 in, I'd have 15 to play with. That stock quantity, that stock adjustments, that's all going to be related to anything in plus or above. That's when you get the option to be able to do track stock. When it comes to employing projects, you can track time on anything from essentials and above. Track time is effectively your option for going in and using the new functionality. You have a timesheet functionality of single time and weekly timesheet. It's going to be great for you if you need to start recording that time, especially in projects, and projects is the next big thing. So if I look at here and I go to here, I get projects. Projects is in plus and above. Projects is the ability for you to go in the projects area down here and really micromanage anything that's there. So for example, I can put a project together, I'll call it team 1 here, and then I can see income versus cost, I can see project margin, open invoices, overdue, and I can see it all broken down for me. And that means that I can really focus on a particular project. Maybe it's a big building that you're building for a client, or maybe it's something that needs to just be micromanaged that little bit more. Whatever it's going to be, you can bring it in there. And also having that time tracking functionality means that you can really hone in on that and make sure that you've got those time tracking elements nicely included. You can set budgets as well. So budgets within QuickBooks up here, you get the opportunity to go and look at budgeting options there. Budgets is only available from Plus and onwards, but ultimately it gives you a chance to set a budget within QuickBooks Online and be able to then see what you're doing against and reporting against it. Really, really powerful for clients. A great way to really set your goals ahead at the beginning of a year, see where you need to be able to get maybe that new employee, for example, and give you opportunity to work towards it. Absolutely love budgets. Budgets are one of my favorite parts about it. And advanced, first time we mentioned advanced yet, you get the opportunity to do employee expenses. So the idea here is that your employees can put in expense claim forms here, and you can make sure you reimburse them accordingly. Works really well for businesses, especially the bigger businesses that go forward. Payroll is available from all of them, so we don't need to talk about that. And then we move on to advanced functionality. Now, I've done a whole video on advanced functionality, so I won't need to go too much into it. Restore company data is about you having the ability to actually save the reporting data at certain points. Up in the top right-hand corner, you have the opportunity to do backup company just here, and that gives you the chance to restore it when you need to. We're in advanced reporting. So one thing it doesn't mention on that list is actually the reporting side of things. From simple start all the way up to advanced, you get different extra bits of reporting all the way through. I'm on the advanced version here, and you can see this reporting list just keeps going on and on and on and on and on. Just keep scrolling, and there's lots of reporting options. But as a advanced user, you get even more advanced reports to look into as well. Then we have batch invoicing under the advanced functionality as well. So if I go to sales and I look at invoicing and I go into a customer and I go new invoice here, I can do multiple invoicing just there. And what that means, it gives me this nice layout where I can quickly put in a multiple input. And it gives me loads of good functionality here where I can go, that invites me to do multiple invoicing. So I can put loads and loads of invoices at the same time. I also have the option to modify and even delete invoices from here. So as an invoice management tool, only available in advance, really, really powerful. Then we have customized user permissions. So in QuickBooks, you have really linear user permissions you can do, and in advance, you can do that even more. So from your company section, I can look in here, and I've got loads of different rules that I can put into play, and I can change these rules when I need to, just by going over to the rule management option here, the roles management, should I say, and from here we can go through and really edit the roles as I see fit. And finally in advance, you get the whole workflow functionality, the task elements, all of that sort of stuff built into play. So when it comes to which one's right for you then, realistically, VAT is covered by all of them. Self-assessment covered by all of them. All your tax elements are there. The big one that I always find is that bills option. Bills is huge for businesses. So the idea that I can put in a bill as opposed to an expense really gives me an option to start thinking about putting some real good cash flow optimizations into my company, into my businesses. I feel like that's a huge step in the right direction. And the reason to go to Plus is because that projects area, so highly recommend having a look at the projects area, because that's definitely something that a lot of businesses think that that's the right reason to move over. And then finally, the reason to go to advanced for me at the moment has always been the functionality that you get the opportunity to be able to go in there and do that automation setting. So going through those workflows, setting those automations, that's really where advanced shines. But as you can see, unlike other solutions out there that really restrict those lower versions by saying how many transactions you can have on a lower one, all that sort of stuff, transactions are unlimited. Most of the features are always there, like the bank, for example, being connected. The only real reason you ever need to move up the chain is because you need things like maybe multi-currency to utilize. And always remember as well, when you go up the chain, you can actually downgrade as well if you need to, as long as you not use some of those functionalities that are exclusive to the things that you can't turn off. So a great example for that would be the fact that when it comes to that multi-currency, if you turn multi-currency on, you then can't turn multi-currency off. So for a lot of people, multi-currency is that bit that causes the most issues. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. I love the fact that on QuickBooks there's loads of options there. It's a nice ecosystem that you can move up and down the chain with and really get the most out of it for your business. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below, and then we can talk about it in more detail. My name's been Alan Patrick. As always, this video has been an absolute pleasure to do for you. Don't forget to use the like button, the subscribe button if we've been any help for you whatsoever. Got loads more content on the way about QuickBooks, including Solopreneur, which I think will just add nicely to that bottom area of this one, of this SKU, and actually be part of it that's going to be in the same ecosystem as well. So I'm really excited to be able to talk more about what Solopreneur, whatever it's going to end up calling in the UK, is going to be. We've already done a video if you're a little bit more excited, so head on over to the video that we've already got going about Solopreneur. But I do think that once that's in, once that's been cemented in place, then we have a really powerful lineup that is way better than anything else out there. My name's been Alan Patrick. Hopefully this video has been useful. Again, use that like, subscribe button to show your appreciation. And as always, if we have helped you at all, we look forward to seeing you in that next video. Bye for now.
Hello and welcome to this new series.
Hello and welcome to this video. Hello and welcome to this video. Hello and welcome to this video.
Hello and welcome to this video.
Hello and welcome to this video. Right, let's get it set. Let's do this.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yes, I'm aware we go live every Monday.
The next generation is about everyone else that missed it.
Yeah. So current. All right, you've told us what you love about the industry, but what would you change about the industry?
Where do I start?
During that period of time, where did everyone turn to? Their accountant, right? Their advisor, their bookkeeper, and you all did phenomenal work for small business.